Hello guys. This video I just want to teach you how to make your waves a little bit more continuous using a pretty simple idea. Um, First things first, this is going to be with like tracing. So if you don't know what a trace is, it's just like you wave and your other hand's just going to be like showing the path of the wave. So like wherever the wave goes, your other hand just kind of shows the movement of the wave. So tracing, like the name says, some people call it contouring, like if you were to contour something, so pretty much to outline a shape. So if you think about it as contouring, then you can also do a lot more stuff. So you could get like a random pose, like this for example, and now you are able to contour the line, right? So you have a shape, and the idea is just to trace the shape and move that shape around, and you can pretty much trace like that. And tracing isn't just with waves, it's done with like all sorts of styles like tidying and stuff like that too. Or you can just trace on its own because it looks pretty cool without waving. So that's the main thing we're going to focus on. This is just mainly like the tracing concepts, even though it is with waves, how to make your wave more continuous. You need to keep this in mind first. So when you actually do an exit wave, like an exit wave like from the shoulder, and then it comes out the fingertip. So usually once you get to the fingertips, the wave's ended. This is where the wave finishes, at the tip. So a wave can start at the fingers or it can end at the fingers, right? But you don't want the wave to end. So once you get to the fingers, you need to figure out how can you make this more continuous. Pretty simple. If your hand is always touching something, then it's always going to have a path to continue, right? So the path's just going to end if your finger is just in the air. If you have your hand touching any part of your body, then you've got a new path to continue the wave. So what I mean, for example, if you were to trace a wave to your knee, for example, your fingers touching, so this wave always has a path where it can go from there, you know? So like, wave all the way down to the knee, come up. If you always touch your hands, your hands always touching your body, you always have this like path where you can go. So the idea is going to be just making new paths and connecting to any parts of your body. Try connect at your shoulder. So do a wave to your shoulder, and now like see where you can like move this around, and then try and like just follow that new path, okay? So I'll give you some ways of doing this. At your elbow, for example, or if you do your foot, maybe try to join your foot to your knee. Okay, so now you already have this continuous path. Okay, now try attach this hand at this hip. Okay, so now what's going to happen? We're going to go down. We're going to go down. We're going to come up. And now I'm going to follow this path around. Okay, maybe we want to go down this time. So now we'll go down, move the path down, move the wave down, maybe move the wave up to the shoulder this time, bring a new wave up, trace this up to maybe up here, maybe to the elbow, attach the elbow at the knee. Now we can wave like this, we can move this around. Okay, so we can move this like this, all the way around. This can be moved down here. Okay, so as long as we have all these new points, we can always keep like moving this point around. Okay, so we always have new ways of like waving. So this just looks like tutting at the moment because it pretty much is. I'm not doing any waves with it. This is just tracing at the moment. So the idea is like from your shoulder, trace a wave to your shoulder, either any shoulder you want. I like this shoulder because then you can go like boom. You can do always like from your shoulder you can hit. If it was the wave down here, boom, the wave now goes into this hand, you know. So the path can always like move around and change. And you can always like do stuff like this. Okay. So you've also got to think continuous motion. So the point where the last move ends is where the next move starts, if that makes sense. If you wave to your elbow, you're going to have to do something from your elbow. So if I was to do a wave to here, boom, wave to my elbow, or you can trace it to your elbow. We've stopped at the elbow, now we have to either go boom. So we have to do something from the elbow. What I usually do, I do this exercise where I go out, I go like this, out, down, up, down, across, in. And from this angle, it's like this. 1, 2, or like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. But it's just a matter like how you want to do it, pretty much. So, like I said, it's just like touching at any part of the body, whether it's up here, and you want to make that more continuous. Okay, boom, 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 boom. And then knowing how to continue from each part of your body. So if your hands are always moving, it's always going to be continuous. If I'm just stopping at one part of the body, then you kind of have to do like isolations and stuff from there. So it helps if you practice this simple drill, which is just touching your body. Just see how you can move your hand around your body without waving first. So you just try this. Just try and keep contact with your body and move your hand all the way around. And then try and go down. And then maybe like bring the knees in. And just always try to be continuous. Maybe try go around the head. Try turn with it behind the back. Try change the angles, bring your knees up. Maybe underneath the knee and then on top, and switch hands and come around. Try and move your body around as you do this. Or you can try and add your turns and stuff. As long as we keep our hands touching our body, this is always going to be continuous, right? So I haven't added the waves in yet, but you can often do like two waves at the same time. So it's like, some people call it double tracing. I call it just like a cross point, like a meeting up point, or like a stop and go. Stop and go, if that makes sense. So I could like have a point here. Okay, so I wave to here. I show people this all the time. So the point's frozen in time. This isn't going anywhere. We're going to use this again later. But for now, we got our other hand free. So this wave, a lot of people think is just stopped. We wave, stop. But actually, what we're going to do is we're going to like create a new wave now with this hand. This hand's just going to like find any other random part of the body, and then it's going to meet up with this hand again. And then we're going to just like continue that first wave. So now we have two waves that meet back into the one wave, and then it's kind of like joining up. So it's like, you think about liquid, you have the concept of a split, which is like, have your path, the path breaks. The path like breaks, right? And then it meets up again. So you have your liquids, that path breaks, but then you can meet up again and you can go back into it and all that. So it's kind of like the same thing with waving. Like we just kind of like break that path, and then we just like start a new path, for example, and then we meet back up. Okay? And you can do that anywhere of the body. Like you could wave to here, to your knee. Then we might want to like pretty much just start a new wave from like shoulder. We go but here, and now that path is like continued again, right? So we can always like have new paths. Yeah, just like see how you can play around with that. So just practice this. Connect your elbow to your knee or any part of your body. So I think your elbow and knee connect pretty well, whether it's like here or here. Just start off with something simple, here, here. Or you connect your hand to your knee, here, here. These are good ones to use because you can go from here, diagonal lines, straight lines, or we can come across more like a square shape. So we have square, horizontal, or maybe you want parallel lines like this, parallel, singular, horizontal, diagonal. So the benefit of this is our knees can also touch. Boom, touching knees. The shape of our hand has turned into like an X shape now. So this is more like triangle shape. The benefit of that is we can do like a triangle, or like it looks like a triangle shape, right? Or a diamond shape. But it is connected to diagonal lines and stuff as well. We can go from here, open it up to like vertical parallel lines. We can also connect at the body into like right angles. So we can use all these cool shapes and move our waves and stuff around like that, okay? So knees can trace, our arms can trace, okay? Hands can trace, but we can attach it all these different parts of the body, which is really cool. Especially like connecting at our shoulder, being so close to our head, it's just cool. We can do this. We can start tracing with our head now. We can go boom, and then down, like we've just traced with our head. Okay, we can take that concept a little bit further, maybe like down to the hip or something. Now this time we might want to go around and then down. Okay, or we can have our hands like this. So even though our hands aren't going to be touching, we can still trace because our hand's touching our chin. Okay, so now it's not touching any other part of our body besides our chin. Okay. This is still continuous, and we can make that even more continuous by just going like this. So we can go 1, 2, and then we can keep going down. Okay, and even if you want to touch your knee now, we can go boom. So we can do this. It looks a bit weird, but you can use your chin to guide other parts of your body. Your knee, if you can do that. You probably don't want to do that, but you can. Here's an example I'll show you. What about this? Our head can actually trace this leg line. So if you can get your head to the knee, you can still trace with our head, okay? So think about your head being able to trace all these cool shapes, whether it's like this. Boom. Okay, now we can flip it, turn it. Okay, we can get like this. Boom. We can also like create other shapes like above the head. So we can like trace like up. Okay, like that. So you just depending on however you want to like use this concept. So the next thing would be, yeah, obviously just like going around your whole body, which I did cover in the previous video. So this one's just mostly going to be attaching with your feet, elbows, hands, and stuff like that, and just changing paths around. So yeah, I might end the video here just because it's 15 minutes long, and I think Instagram only lets me upload like 15 minutes max or something. So hope that helps. Peace.